All right, Black and Gold Nation, listen up because what I'm about to tell you is gonna rock your Saturday. Aaron Rodgers, our number 8 and a future Hall of Famer, has already been making noise in joint practices against the Buccaneers, but surprise, he won't be suiting up for the preseason game. It's a Mike Tomlin decision and it's raising a ton of questions. Meanwhile, there's some hot buzz behind the scenes about offensive reinforcements, big names are being thrown around, and even a contract situation is heating up on the defensive side of the ball. It's all happening at the same time. Are we about to see a blockbuster move before week 1, or is this just the tip of the iceberg? But before we dive into the latest Steelers news, just a quick request. If you're into this kind of analysis, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It helps keep this passionate community of black and gold diehards alive, strengthens that steel curtain pride, and ensures you don't miss any of the hot takes. Here we get straight to the point, with the kind of insights that come from living and breathing Steelers football. So go ahead and hit that like button, ring the bell, and let's get into what promises to be an emotional season. So here's the first bombshell of the day, my friend. Aaron Rodgers isn't playing against the Buccaneers this Saturday. That's right, the So 8, who already had the fans hyped up in joint practices, will be sitting out another preseason game. Mike Tomlin had already said before the practice even started that Rodgers, along with other starters, wouldn't be on the field. And listen, it's a decision that has everyone divided. On one hand, the guy is 41 years old, one of the best quarterbacks football has ever seen, and he has nothing to prove. On the other hand, he just got to Pittsburgh, and it would be great to see him get in sync with the guys in a real game environment. Taking over the offense will be Mason Rudolph, who in his last outing against the Jaguars completed 9 of 10 passes for 84 yards and a touchdown. He's not a superstar, but he knows the system and can get the job done, even with the limited preseason playbook. On the Bucs side, Todd Bowles confirmed that practically everyone is going to play, except for Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, and Levante David. Their defense is full of new faces like nickel corner Jacob Parrish and pass rusher Hasten Reddick, who will be making his debut. But I can tell you right now, they won't have the pleasure of trying to take down a future Hall of Famer this Saturday. Now what has me intrigued is Rodgers' absence just about preservation, or is there more going on behind the scenes? And another thing, if he also sits out the third game, we'll get to week 1 without ever having seen him command this offense in a real game situation. That, my friend, could mess with the initial chemistry and cost us big time down the line. And it's precisely this point that connects to our next topic, because the moves behind the scenes show that the front office isn't just sitting back and waiting. There are some serious reinforcements on the radar, and a respectable target for Rodgers could pop up even before the regular season kicks off. Now hold on to your terrible towels because this conversation is serious. Even with Aaron Rodgers landing in Pittsburgh and DK Metcalf becoming that respected downfield threat, the front office knows there's still a piece missing from the puzzle. And the name echoing in the hallways of Heinz Field is none other than Amari Cooper. Yes, the same Amari who has been a nightmare for opposing secondaries, known for roots as sharp as a razor and reliable hands in the clutch. Today he's no longer that absolute WR1 who single-handedly dominates defenses, but that might be exactly what makes him perfect for us right now. DK is already going to draw double coverage and open up space. Calvin Austin III comes in as a spark plug on quick plays, and Roman Wilson brings youth and hunger, but none of them is that cold and precise guy on third downs who finds the right space in the zone and keeps the chains moving. Cooper, even coming off a season split between the Browns and Bills with modest numbers, 20 receptions, 297 yards, and 2 TDs in the regular season, plus 6 receptions and 41 yards in the playoffs, still showed flashes of his old form, with crisp cuts and intelligent reads of defenses. Imagine him receiving pinpoint passes from Rodgers, especially in critical moments. That's chemistry ready to click. The Terrible Towel Nation is already commenting in forums that this would be the silent move that could decide the season, and I agree, especially because with Metcalf stretching the field, Cooper could dominate the intermediate routes and become the go-to guy on third downs, something Rodgers values immensely. The feeling is that the front office knows that the Super Bowl window with Rodgers is now or never, and bringing in an experienced guy could be the detail that separates a good offense from a championship offense. And if you think that's all, get ready, because it's not just Cooper on the radar. There's another veteran very familiar with the AFC North who could pop up as a reinforcement, and that, my friend, would bring not only skill but an emotional spark to the locker room. And that brings us to the next bit of inside scoop, and this one might please those who like surgical reinforcements. Tyler Boyd, the 9-year veteran who just finished his contract with the Tennessee Titans, is a free agent, and according to sources close to the front office, he's a real target being evaluated by the Steelers. The reason is crystal clear. Even with DK Metcalf and George Pickens being machines on the perimeter, that reliable slot piece is missing, the guy who shows up on third downs and gets it done. And that, my friend, is exactly Boyd's specialty. He built his career on being precise on short routes, finding spaces between zones, and offering a safe option for the quarterback when the pocket gets tight. And get this, money isn't an issue. He was on a modest contract of $2.4 million per year, and today his market value is around $2.15 million, which fits comfortably within the cap space Omar Khan saved for targeted reinforcements. In addition to the technical fit, Boyd would bring locker room leadership, durability, and experience in competitive environments, something that can ease the pressure on the younger receivers. Tactically, he would allow for interesting variations in 11 and 12 personnel formations, opening up pre-snap reads and facilitating quick adjustments during the game. And it doesn't stop there. His arrival could free up Metcalf and Pickens for more creative rotations, using motion and confusing defenses, something that fits perfectly with the current offensive philosophy. There's also the emotional detail. Boyd already has ties to Pennsylvania from his college days, and he understands the vibe and the pressure from the fans. A deal is favored by the absence of a current contract and the player's willingness to return to the state. For now, there's no official offer on the table, but if other priorities don't materialize, the expectation is that this conversation will heat up quickly. And if it happens, you can be sure that the Black and Gold Nation will get a silent trump card that can take the offense to the next level. Now, if you think the behind-the-scenes action is hot on offense, just wait until I tell you what's going on with one of the most respected leaders on defense. My friend, if the conversations are heating up on offense, the climate on defense is no different. Cameron Hayward, our 15-year veteran, is in the middle of a contract dispute that's starting to cause some friction. He wants a restructured deal for 2025, but so far, there's been no concrete progress. And it's not just the fans who are keeping an eye on this, you know? Inside the locker room, the strongest voices have already spoken up. Jalen Ramsey, who just arrived via trade, sent a direct message to GM Omar Khan during the Not Just Football podcast. "You took care of me, TJ. Slay. Cam's next." Strong words, right? And it didn't stop there. Darius Slay, who also participated, was even more direct. "We need you out there. Tell them to stop playing now." This kind of public statement carries weight, especially coming from guys who understand the value of leadership and presence on the field. Hayward, meanwhile, isn't fully participating in practice, making it clear that the situation is bothering him. It's interesting to remember that he himself used this kind of pressure before, when he advocated for the front office to pay TJ Watt, and it worked. Will the same effect happen now? What you can feel is that the defense wants him ready and motivated, because even with names like Ramsey and Watt shining, the heart of this unit still beats to the rhythm of Nashr 97. And look, losing a leader like this because of a contract impasse would be a hard blow, not only technically but emotionally. The fans are already debating heavily in the forums, and the feeling is unanimous: pay the man. The timing is also delicate because we are just a few weeks away from the start of the season, and every day without him in game rhythm is one less day of getting in sync. Now, if you think that closes today's topic, you're wrong. Because when we put all these pieces together, offensive moves, reinforcements on the radar, and leaders asking for space, it becomes clear that the Steelers are in the middle of a crossroads that could define the year. Take a deep breath, because what happened today shows that the Pittsburgh Steelers are living in a decisive moment. Rodgers is being preserved, leaving the fans divided. On offense, Amari Cooper and Tyler Boyd on the radar make it clear that the front office wants to round out the roster to compete for the Super Bowl now. On defense, Cameron Hayward is pushing for a new contract, with Ramsey and Slay reinforcing the chorus. It's tension, expectation, and hope in equal measure. The Black and Gold Brotherhood feels something big is coming. And you, what move do you think will change our season? Stick around, because the next few weeks promise to shake up the Steel City.